Hello and welcome to the session on our PG student Q&A panel. Today I'm joined by 4 of our lovely students who are going to be talking about what it's like to study at postgraduate level with us. If we start by going around the room with Sam first, then clockwise, could you please introduce yourself, the course that you do, and then what made you choose your course at the University of Suffolk? We start with Sam.
Hi everyone, so as Molly said, my name's Sam. I'm studying a PhD in psychology. I'm studying this full-time my first year. What made me choose the university is I've done my undergraduate here, so I knew the quality of the teaching and also the support systems in place, so it was a no-brainer for me to carry on here.
Me next?
Yeah, you go first.
Perfect. My name is Morgany. I am a diagnostic radiography student. I chose my course because I just wanted to go into radiography, to be quite honest, being quite blunt. I also chose the University of Suffolk from a careers fair in Cambridge, and they recommended the university and said that they were a strong link to Adam Brooks, which was a perk for me.
Excellent.
Hi everyone, my name is is it me? Okay, my name is Lucy. I'm doing a master's in international relations, and why I chose international relations is because I did political science in my undergrad, and international relations is like a specialization of political science because it's a branch. Yeah.
Perfect.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm Faraz, and I'm studying history MA at the University of Suffolk, and I'm also doing it full-time. And like Sam, I also chose to study history at Suffolk because I've already done it at the undergraduate level, and I know how the teaching works at the university, as well as the support systems I can receive, including careers.
Oh, it's frozen.
Yeah, I think Molly's frozen.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll give it a minute. Give it a minute.
Lovely. I think my connection just went there a little bit, but thank you all for introducing yourselves. So, are there anything that make University of Suffolk stand out from other universities? I guess it's a similar question to the first one in terms of what made you choose your course, but was there anything that kind of grabbed your attention? It might not be to do with the course specifically, maybe it's about student life. But yeah, we'll go with Lucy.
I'd say the block teaching, that really is a very unique idea, and I feel like that, especially for a master's student, it's very easy to be able to get through every module easily. So yeah, the block teaching for me.
Excellent. And Faraz, how about you for that question as well?
Yep, I thought the block system's a good idea. While the MA History doesn't do it right now at the moment and focuses on semester-style teachings, we're planning to use block and blend system for the MA History course next year, and I think the block and blend system, it does quite well because it allows you to focus on one module at a time without stressing over multiple assessments. I actually didn't know about this until the undergraduate course, if I'm being honest, but I think it's a very good option for people who struggle with semester-style learning. And also because the university is quite modern as well, so it's very easy to appeal to current needs for students. It's very inclusive as well.
Oh, that's good to hear. We're also just joined by Benjamin as well, who's another one of our students. Benjamin, if you could just introduce yourself quickly, saying your name, your course of study, and why you chose University of Suffolk.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Benjamin Latte, and I'm studying MSc Strategic People's Management. And the reason why I chose, I think Lucy and the other guy has spoken much about the block and blend, which I think I've been in the uni for a year and some months. So the MSc Strategic People's Management had an option for 2 years, which I chose. So I'm in my placement now. So I think the block and blend, which really gave us much exposure, much about how to the learning process, projects, live projects especially, and then how to interact with the outside world, and then the facilities as well, which are very top notch. And I think these are most of the things that really gave me the interest to study the course as well.
Perfect, that's great. So on to our next question. Are you studying the same thing that you did for your undergraduate, or did you use your postgraduate study to change your area of study?
Okay.
Benjamin, we will go with you first, and then we'll go to Morgany.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a continuation of what I studied in my undergrad. I studied human resource management in my undergrad back in my home country in Ghana. So having a look at the strategic people's management, I was very much interested in, let's say, change management, things around strategy, being strategic in the workplace. And that really caught my attention, and I was really much into those things now. And even the placement I'm in now, I'm dealing with change management at the Suffolk County Council. So I think in all, it's actually giving me a general ideas of how to use my human resource skills from my undergrad to what I'm doing now.
Excellent. Morgany, over to you.
Yeah, so my undergraduate degree was actually in biomedical science. So it still kind of is within like the healthcare scene or medical science kind of scene, but not very patient-centered. But I did switch over quite evidently to diagnostic radiography. One, because I wanted to do postgraduate study, and it seemed like a nice stepping stone into a more specialized and like patient-facing, clinically applied discipline rather than, bench side, not really having that connection. So it felt like a natural progression, and it kind of just builds on one, my scientific background without nullifying it, but then also allows me to apply in clinical practice.
Excellent. And Sam, I know a little bit about you already in terms of your history and what you've studied, but if you could tell the viewers and everyone else listening whether your undergraduate links to your postgraduate study.
Yes, so mine very much links. So my undergraduate was BSc in psychology, which I undertook at the University of Suffolk. Started here in 2020, so I did it part-time as an undergraduate, and it felt again was like a natural progression, as Mahogany said as well, because it just carried on from what I'd done as an undergraduate and gave me the insight to what gaps I wanted to write in my proposal to really focus on then for the postgraduate study.
Perfect. And Lucy, same question as well for you.
Okay, so in my undergrad, I did political science, but international relations is like a specialization of political science. So same field, just more a specialized version.
Excellent. And Faraz, how about you?
Yes, so as I mentioned before, so I decided to continue from the undergraduate degree because it's more of an extension now. With the MA History, you focus more on modern day themes, and you're also introduced to ideas of public history. You work with the Hold, which is involved with Suffolk Community Council. It's very inclusive as well. It's not just a matter of some simple topics. You also learn how to get involved with the public, which is very good for history. It gives you more ideas on how you can approach it.
Perfect, that's great to hear. So in terms of student accommodation, what has your experience been like while staying at University of Suffolk's accommodation? Lucy, are you in accommodation at the moment?
No. I live outside school accommodation.
Okay, perfect. And was it easy to find for you? Is it like located close by to the university as well?
Yes, just a 10-minute walk. It was pretty easy to find on spare room. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Not too far.
Lovely. And Faraz, what about for you? Are you in student accommodation?
Yes, I still live in Athena Hall. It's the 4th year actually, and I find the accommodation, it's very nice. You're just 2 minutes away from the campus, and you've got a wonderful view of the Ipswich waterfront and the marina.
Excellent, it's very true. And you can stay in Athena Hall for all of your time of study, which is really nice. I know some universities sometimes say you can stay for 1 year, and then after that you kind of have to find your own accommodation. So it's a little bit more stress-free, isn't it, having to knowing you can continue your residency with us.
Yes, they do say that. They send you emails that say you can rebook your room, or someone else will take it. Yeah, someone else can take it if you're planning to use a different room.
Exactly that. Lovely. For our next question, it's a little bit looking into what's it like living in Ipswich and how do you tend to spend your time when you're not studying? Morgany, what would you say for this question?
If I'm quite frank, I am rarely in Ipswich, but I tend to be back and forth from campus and then obviously on placement as well.
Yeah.
When I am in Ipswich, very generic answer, I go to the gym. I go straight to JD gyms. I'm usually in there pretty much not every day, but every other day. If not, I'm usually in not my student accommodation that's provided by the university. I do have separate accommodation. But I'm usually there. Sometimes I like to walk down by the waterfront, like do a little gallivant. I'm not too sure about the nightlife of Ipswich. I'm not very into that, if I'm quite honest. But out of studying, going to the gym, it's pretty much just chilling indoors.
That's lovely. That's a lovely way to be sometimes, isn't it? Sam, what about you in terms of experiencing living in Ipswich and what you do when you're not studying?
Yeah, so I live literally just outside of Ipswich and I've been here since the 90s. So I've seen Ipswich change a lot over that time with different things coming and going. I love to, part of the bit is I will be very study, and I have to write within my time management program to make sure I take well my well-being. And part of that is going into Ipswich, and we love going to the cinema, or we're going to do some pottery painting, or catch up in one of the crafts. It's a great kind of connection bit to be able to kind of meet people, and there'd be people I've met through the university, or those sort of outside as well. So there's a lot of different mixture of things. Plus, you're really close to the train station with Ipswich and where the campus is. So if you want to go out to Bury for the day or Cambridge or London, it's a relatively short train ride away to investigate other areas as well.
Yes, very true. Yeah, it's a direct link, isn't it? Straight from Ipswich station to London. And also town centre so nearby as well, as you mentioned, like pottery and like cinema, like literally everything is like in walking distance, isn't it, to get to kind of literally all the shops that you want to go to. There's like parks nearby, so it's a really nice place to be. So how different is postgraduate study from undergraduate study? Faraz, what would you say for that there? I know you've mentioned it a little bit in terms of it going a little bit more in depth, and you can study more modern kind of specifics.
Yes, you're a postgraduate study. Yep, you're more independent compared to undergraduate ones. So you're given the opportunities to explore your own research interests in a sense. You're still supervised, of course, but you've got more free reign over what you want to do for history projects, so like public history and your dissertation as well, and some of the essay questions within the first modules. Yes.
Excellent. And Lucy, what would you also say? How different is postgraduate study from undergraduate study? What's your experience?
Okay, granted that I did my undergrad in a different country, so obviously the teaching methods are different, the examination methods are different. Where in my undergrad there were exams, here there are no exams. Obviously also the time, I really like that I have classes only once a week. It's the whole day, yes, but it's once a week, so it also gives me time to do other stuff, to study on my own, to work part-time. Yeah, but obviously study more because it's more in-depth now, more studying, more academic work per se. So yeah.
What does your when you mentioned you go in every a day each week, what does that look like in terms of like the structure of the day? Is it one-to-one for a couple of hours, or is it like how do you how is it normally like managed in that on your day?
It's 10 to 1, and then we have a lunch break from 1 to 2, then 2 to 5. But there are also a lot of breaks in between the 3 hours, and the lectures are pretty interesting. So the 3 hours honestly just goes by very fast. Yeah, but I'm used to in my undergrad we also had 3-hour lectures, so that's not been very different for me.
Yeah, and it's different for every kind of like course that you choose, isn't it? It's so tailored to obviously what you're studying, and yeah, very different. So in terms of let me add my little next question here. What is your relationship with the lecturers? You know, how easily do you feel supported throughout your study here? What's that kind of like? Sam, we'll go for you for this one.
I feel very fortunate with my supervisors. The good thing about, in a way, with the PhD is I was able to approach the lecturers and those that I've sort of known over the last 5 years to kind of say, oh, this is my idea. Would you be able to be one of my supervisors? What do you think? Have you got capacity, etc., to take on another student? And it worked out well because they all said yes. But I feel really supported. It's very different to the undergraduate where you're in a lot, and even for the masters when you're in once a week. For the PhD, you're predominantly at home and working. It might sometimes be working in the library or some other kind of setting, but a lot of the time it's very independent. So to be able to catch up with the supervisors at least sort of once a month, let alone the other lecturers that I know as well, to be able to catch up on different bits, it's been really kind of supportive from that way. Plus, we always have our workshops and training sessions as well, which I think we all love, because even that those that attend are at different stages and different years of their PhD is a great kind of social connection, that we're all there in that room for an hour or two learning about the different bits, but also being able to kind of have a good chat with each other and catch up at the same time as well. So between sort of the lecturers and the kind of wider student community, you do feel very supportive. Well, that's been my experience though.
And that's so good to hear, really, because it makes such a difference, doesn't it, when it's like they're like friendly people to be around, and like lecturers that you feel like you can just ask a question if you are not sure or you want more support or like advice with. So that's really nice to hear. Morgany, what about you in terms of what are your lecturers like, and do you feel supported through your study at University of Suffolk?
Yeah, I mean, my lecturers, compared to my undergrad, my lecturers are complete different people, not in a bad way, completely approachable and supportive. Because in my undergrad, obviously I was working with like biomedical scientists, you know, doctors, and it's very much like, oh, this is Dr. so and so. You don't really get to know a person on a first name basis, because it's like I'm not saying that there isn't a matter of respect, but it was a matter of like upholding that respect. But you have to remember, like, maybe you can't be as, you know, happy-go-lucky with a certain person, because it's just not professional. But with my current lecturers, it's a lot more, like, we have a smaller cohort, and it's a lot more direct. Emailing them is not a problem as well, and they actually respond pretty fast, which I'm not used to. And it's a lot more personalized feedback. Especially on my course, we have a lot of people that are specializing in like certain fields. So it's quite interesting, like having to understand like different people's perspectives, even if they are like in the same general field. And they're all just really genuinely invested in like our development as students, but also as professionals. And yeah, it's a really big difference, academically and professionally, I would say. So it's nice.
Oh, that's good to hear. Anyone else want to add to this question, or is everyone happy to move on?
Yeah, I'd be happy to add something. So I think definitely my relationship with the history lecturers, it's quite good actually. It's really nice to be in contact with them on a regular basis, even though you're more independent during the MA history course, you still receive quite a lot of support, not just in regards to academic works. There's also a matter of careers as well, and suggestions, and the advice I've been given from them, as well as any potential opportunities, they've really helped me with moving forward after the postgraduate course.
Well, that's good to hear, because as you were saying, in terms of like them presenting you the opportunities, or like kind of like talking with you one-to-one, that's kind of a real benefit of studying with us, is because we have smaller class sizes, and so lecturers always, you know, they get to know students like where they want to go, their aspirations, what they're really interested in studying, like what bit of the module they kind of want more help with, stuff like that. So that's really good to hear how your lecturers are very supportive and know you as individuals. Very good.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this is, I'm not saying criticizing other universities that have larger classes, but I think it's better if you have smaller classes, and you receive more personalized one-to-one support, since they know you, your expectations, like they know what you want to do, then it just feels easier to talk to them instead of being generalized. So it just feels like you're compared to other students in particular.
Yes,
Yeah, I
exactly.
wanted to add something to what he was saying. I think with mine as well, trying to get a placement wasn't an easy thing. And then my course leader and then one of the lecturers, they really, really helped me. And then I think careers also helped me. They gave me a list of organizations I should speak to. I should send them emails. And I think out of them, I was able to get a placement at the Suffolk County Council. And how the class is smaller, it helps them to be able to interact with everyone, get to know where you need improvement, where you are doing better, to motivate you to do more. And I think that really, really helps the smaller classes as well.
Excellent. That's a good point there as well. Thank you. So for our next question, that's just adding it in here. In terms of Students' Union, this is open to the group. So have you gotten involved with the Students' Union at all? And what sort of activities have you been involved in? So anyone want to take that one?
Okay, so I think with the student, we've had table tennis with a couple of people. We've had nights where there was an event, around the waterfront. It was a very nice experience. We had gifts, we had loads of stuff, and then we've been to the student union place. We've done so many things, and I think many more international students have been there. We've interacted, we've have activities there as well. So I think that it's been very helpful, and then it's been very inspiring as well.
That's good to hear. It's not on the slide, but I wanted to kind of build upon this question here, and it was kind of like, I know, Sam, you mentioned that you felt very like supported with also the people that like your cohort, like your colleagues and your classmates as well. Would that be the same experience for everyone else, or is it kind of like as it's more specialized and is like smaller class sizes, would you feel like it's definitely more independent study? Like, does it ever, or like how has everyone else found like their cohorts and like their classmates? Like, how has that experience been? Morgany, you were nodding your head there.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, I think especially in my cohort, there have been, it's really diverse and supportive, if I'm quite honest. And especially being in not trying to say it's worse or not as worse, but like within healthcare, it can be quite stressful. And sometimes it does feel like you are a little bit isolated, because you're trying to like catch up with the other people, like obviously with professionals that are fully qualified. So it's actually quite nice sometimes when there's like that strong sense of like teamwork and community between us, because we just come back and we discuss what we have gone through, and it's like, oh, you actually went through that as well in a different site. Oh, that's actually quite nice. I'm not alone feeling that. So it's nice. It does make it a little bit less isolating. But also it just brings us all together and makes us understand, what, it's actually not just a personal, experience that I have to kind of just get over.
Yeah.
But it's like we all just work with each other and then help each other cope, which is nice.
Yeah, I think it's so important to have a support system whilst at university, and especially if you're doing like people-centered, like health-related courses. It's so important to have people where you can just say, "Oh, this happened to me today," and people can really understand and like relate to like what your experience was, whatever that may be. Anyone want to add to this question here, or are we happy to move on here?
I think sorry.
Yeah, I'd say with cohorts, it's very wonderful actually, having a small cohort, lots of people that you can talk to. So it is still a small size, but it's nice that you can talk to them in person as well. It just feels easier to communicate with them rather than feeling overwhelmed in a crowd of over 50 students.
I feel the same way. I prefer being in a smaller group, because then I feel you just gel better, and you can just feel like you can ask lots of people different questions, because overall you'll just have a stronger kind of support group if you know these people, rather than being lost in a kind of in a crowd, some might say. Lovely. So we'll move on. So I think this is my last question actually. It says, do you know what you would like to do after you graduate? This is open to everyone. So we'll start with Sam and then we'll move around the room.
So for me, I'd love to go for the academic route. So I'd love to become a lecturer. That's the kind of dream. But I've been fortunate that I've been able to do a few sessions for the undergraduates, which is what I hope to be able to do some more in the kind of years to come as I progress through the PhD. But that's kind of my dream, would be to become a lecturer.
Ooh. But well, good luck. You're just definitely on the route towards that for sure with all your studies. That's great to hear. Morgany, what about yourself?
I'm looking to go into medicine after this.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to still work as a radio. Obviously, when I qualify, I still want to work as a radiographer part-time. But with this course, it's actually not awoken, but brought out a little bit more in terms of I need a little bit more like satisfaction. And I also just want to continue developing my expertise and specialize in something, which my course has, like my course leaders and course reps and all sorts have been incredibly supportive of. So long term, I'm just interested in furthering my academic development, potentially contributing to research. We don't know about that one just yet. Might do. Like for just improving patient care in general. And then hopefully we'll go on to medicine. And then I will be a radiologist instead of a radiographer.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, good luck with that. And Faraz, what about yourself?
So yeah, I'm planning to after my MA, I'm planning to study for a PhD in history with the idea of becoming a university lecturer in history as well. So also on the side of academia like Sam, but yeah, just as other paths as well. So I've got like I'm thinking of doing research-based jobs. So maybe working in the civil service is something that I can use my skills with research that I've gained in history.
Excellent. And Lucy?
So after my MA, I'm very fortunate that whatever I'm studying, I can go into the diplomatic corps, I can go into local government, I can work with NGOs, community-based organizations. I really have like a whole plethora of things I can do. So I'll just go where the opportunity goes and hopefully, go back to my country with some knowledge to be able to help the governments back home.
Perfect. That's great. And Ben, lastly, what about yourself?
Yeah, I think with the experience that I have gathered from the council, I would, and I think I've had the opportunity to go around the HR department in terms of recruitment, early careers, the support. So I would like to progress in the human resource environments. So I would definitely like to progress in that aspect, and then probably in change management as well, because I'm really much into the HR environment. I really like the environment, so it would be a good career progression to venture into human resource when I'm done.
Perfect. Well, that's really great to hear. We do have a few more questions actually that we've got. So we'll circle back to what tools and facilities or facilities does the university offer, and what have you found most useful? Is there something that maybe you use, maybe not every day, but something where you always go back to and think, oh, this is really excellent, like resource or facilities? This is an open question for everyone as well, so please let me know.
I think the library has been the best place for me as well, in terms of research, in terms of getting to know online documents, and then most of the stuff that because we don't do much learning in a class, so it's all about what do you do in your spare time, because we have class lessons and then we have individual times in our bright space. So I think that has really helped me to do a little bit of individual learning, a little bit of research, to know so many things around my course, and then in terms of change management as well. So I think the library has been the best. It's been the best for me individually.
Perfect. Anyone else?
Yeah, I
can-
say
yeah.
I agree with.
go on.
Sorry.
Sorry, who
That's
goes first?
okay.
Yeah.
So I agree with Ben in regards, especially the library. They offer a lot of different support for both undergraduate and postgraduate, and these could be from like one-to-one different sessions. So for mine recently, because I'm doing a big scoping review, and I've created basically the search words that I'm going to use to be able to hopefully find the right articles, being able to kind of help talk them over, refine them, discuss different database with them, was a really supportive and helpful bit. And for psychology, there are different softwares that the university is obviously paid into for the different licensing, statistical softwares to different equipments. Even that I was using more as an undergraduate than I am at the moment, just because of where I am with my study. But they do have a lot on offer that for both undergraduate and postgraduate that you can use.
It's good to hear. Anyone else want to add to this as well?
So, yep, I've definitely, there's quite a lot of facilities that the library has to offer. Some of the ones that stand out, so there's the library building, of course. There's the option to borrow books. There's quite a wide variety of sources that I can use for my research, and also the use of the interlibrary loan system. It's very effective as well. Granted, the library is closing on Saturday for physical books, but when the new library opens on 10th of March, I imagine that library services are going to be new and improved and will possibly contain more resources as well.
Yes, that's correct. So we are having a new library being put in, and it will be open in March. So I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited because I work in the waterfront building, and I hope to also use the library on my lunch break so I can have a look at stuff. Morgan, you also nodded there as well. Is there anything you wanted to add to this question?
Yeah, I love telling people this, but university actually has like an X-ray room, which is really interesting, especially if that's your forte, my forte, because I get to have like that, like the practical aspect without having to do the in hospital like kind of work. It's quite nice having that. Like we have like this workshop, like stretch, that's what I call it, the workshop stretch where we practice everything and then we go into placement, and it's quite nice like having that area. And you can always book it as well with like the lecturers too, and providing you give them enough notice. And it's state of the art Fujifilm if anyone cares. Pretty good X-ray room. Everything works perfectly fine. You kind of radiate someone, but you know, don't really want to. But there are phantoms as well, which makes it 10 times better as well. Yeah, I absolutely love that room. I always praise that room whenever I have to take someone there.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I didn't know that you could rent out the X-ray room, which is really cool.
You can book it with the lecturers, which is nice.
Wow. Oh,
That
so
sounds
accessible.
interesting.
Yeah, wow, it's madness. We have our last question here, and this would be for everyone again. It would be, what advice would you give to people thinking about study at postgraduate level? So if we start with Ben.
Yeah, I think the advice I would give to someone who wants to study postgraduate is all about the kind of mindset I had before coming to the University of Suffolk. You want to try to broaden the scope of your understanding, get to learn more, get to experience other versions of what you know already. Because with someone with, I had a little bit of human resource background, but coming here, everything is all about thinking. It's all about expressing yourself. How best can you do in this situation, live situations? So I think I've had one friend who is applying to the University of Suffolk. He was supposed to be in January, but it's coming in September because of a few things. But he was pretty much excited about what I told him about the experiences, how the school is open to ideas, the live. I've done live assignments, projects, and I was very much fulfilled as a person because it was the first time experiencing a live project. So I think that is what I would let someone. And then the environment as well, it is very welcoming, and everyone is ready to give you information, anything you want concerning the uni and everything. Yeah.
You're absolutely right in saying that, yes. For Lucy, how about yourself?
I'd say definitely go for it. People say sometimes a master's is so intimidating, but if you do something or you pursue a course that you're genuinely interested in, and you can tell everyone here when they're talking about their courses, they're so excited about it, you know. So it makes the lectures so much more easier, so much more fun. You actually have fun. Sometimes I never thought I'd say this, but I get excited to do assignments. Like, oh, I get to research about this, and you know, I never thought I'd say that, but here we are. It's because I'm enjoying what's actually happening in class, and it's giving me incentive to go home and read more about it, you know.
That's excellent, yes. And Sam?
I think if you're an undergraduate at the moment and you're maybe in your last year and you're thinking, what should I do afterwards? It's having a think of what you want to do for that future and what progression for you. I found the careers department, especially what we have at UOS, really helpful with that, as well as speaking to your lecturers and kind of say, I've got this in mind to do this. What's the best route? And it could be, oh, we need to do this specific master's to be able to get access into this bit, like with radiography, so before as a stepping stone towards you want to get to at the end. It just kind of gives you that idea then of going, you're on the right pathway. And it could be, oh, okay, actually, no, you may be better off jumping this one and doing this one, or you might be stuck between two different ones. So I say definitely lean on the careers department, talk to the lecturers, and come to the open events and stuff as well, and just really kind of hone in on what the core bits of each course maybe you're interested in to make sure you're the right way for you, because it is a lot more of independent learning. So you need to be very passionate and want to do it, and you need to have that enthusiasm before you, because it is very much about resilience, and you need to have that for what you want to do. So don't pick something out, I'm maybe sure of that, okay, I might go with that, and then you might end up regretting it. So sort of pick wisely with where you can see yourself in the future.
Definitely, lots of good points there. And as Sam was saying, like our lecturers are so friendly, and anyone that you talk to really that goes to our universities, very happy to talk to you about what their course is like and their experience at university. So very good point. Yeah, do your research. Look at the open days that we have, talk to lecturers. They've got emails on lots of the course pages as well. So they're literally just an email away. Morgany, what about yourself in terms of what advice would you give to people thinking about studying?
Blunt, just do it. Just do it. Because the worst case scenario, maybe it's not what you want to do, and that's okay. Because in the end, you can always switch. Yeah, I told all my friends this, just do it. Just do it, because you never know. And it turns out you probably will be able to achieve something, you know, as long as it's something that you want to do, something that you feel will actually have an impact on your life, then just do it. That's how I am.
Definitely, yeah. Sometimes throwing yourself into it, if you're thinking, oh, I really want to like pursue something, getting a qualification in postgraduate level is such a big achievement, and getting all those skills that you can learn and maybe even transfer into, even if wherever you want to go after you've studied at postgraduate level, is also very important. And yeah, it's brilliant. Faraz, what about for you?
Yeah, I'd say definitely a mixture of some of the things mentioned. So if you want to do postgraduate, then by all means go for it if that's what interests you. But make sure when you're studying on the course, make the most of every opportunity that's given to you. So career support, library resources, and support from your lecturers and peers one-to-one. So everything, make the most of your support, especially if you're doing a PhD like Sam is. Just make sure you've got that support, and also know where you're going as well after it. So are you going to work in a department or a sector that's similar to what you're doing a PhD or MA study, or is it going to be something entire? So definitely consider that before you finish the course as well.
Excellent. Well, there's lots of things to consider. Would anyone else like to add anything before we wrap up and finish our webinar for the day? If not, then we will see everyone else tomorrow, which we've got our 2 sessions on social work, and there's another one on careers as well in the afternoon as well. So I think that is everything. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for watching.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.